conflict. Conflict is a struggle between two opposing forces. Now in a story, typically that lends to the protagonist and the antagonist. Conflict pushes the story along the plot diagram. Now, every story that you've ever read has a main or a central conflict. In full-length novels like Les Miserables, you typically have multiple conflicts, but there's always a main or central one. Now, there are 4 types of conflict, but they can be broken up into 2 categories: internal and external. External conflict is conflict that is exhibited outside of the body. So you have man versus man. For example, Harry Potter versus Voldemort. You have man versus nature. In The Interlopers by Saki, you have Ulrich and Georg versus nature and that dead tree that is pinning them down. And then lastly, you have man versus society. In The Hunger Games, you have Katniss Everdeen versus the government of the capital. The second category is internal. Internals just has one type, man versus self. This is where the conflict is existing inside the character's mind. So, conflicts, for example, would be like guilt, jealousy, or doubt. Here you see a character where you have a man and his wife is asking him about her outfit and how does it make her look. And he's struggling with to tell a lie or to tell the truth. The next 3 devices: foreshadowing, mood, and suspense. Foreshadowing are clues and hints the author gives in a story about what may happen later. Foreshadowing is an excellent tool that the author uses to 1, hook the reader, and 2, to kind of give you clues so you can be a detective in solving the riddle of the story. So, foreshadowing gives you excellent clues to help you make predictions about events that could happen in the story later. Typically, you see foreshadowing in a lot of your procedural crime shows like CSI or Covert Affairs, or shows like Who Done It, Castle, or the new ABC show Motive. The second one is mood, better known as atmosphere. This is a feeling created within the reader while reading a literary work. Now, when you're analyzing a story, you have a set of mood words, and they can be positive and negative. Positive mood words, you might read a story that is silly, or calm, peaceful, loving, excited. Then you could have negative words like cold, dreary, serious, or depressed. And then lastly, you have suspense, aka I like to call suspense scary movie music. Suspense is the feeling of uncertainty about what will happen in the story next. Suspense is that feeling when you're looking at a scary or suspenseful television show, or going to the movies looking at a scary or suspenseful movie, and you start talking to the characters as if they can actually hear you. Don't go through that door. Stuff like that. So, in using suspense, the author is trying to force you, the reader, to ask questions or to yell at the characters. And basically the author is hooking you into the story. And let's admit, it works. The 9th and last short story device is irony. It comes in 3 forms. Now, irony is the unexpected outcome or result. There are 3 types of irony. You have verbal, which is the unexpected meaning, or a sarcastic remark. For example, are you sick? No, I throw up for fun all the time. As the person asking, are you sick, you were not expecting the person you asked to say, no, I throw up for fun all the time. You were expecting them to say, yes, I am sick. That's verbal irony, sarcastic remarks. The next one is situational. That's the unexpected result, event, or ending. You typically see these in your cliffhanger shows or surprise endings or scary movies that let you know there's something more coming. Typically you see these in just common everyday news articles. For example, actual news article, firefighter accidentally burns down home. Why is that ironic or an example of irony? Because a firefighter burned down his home. How does a firefighter burn down his own home if he fights fires for a living? And then the last one is dramatic. This is where the reader or audience knows more information about the characters than the characters do themselves. For example, Romeo and Juliet's fate. At the very beginning of the story, Shakespeare tells us they're star-crossed lovers. They're going to die. They're actually going to kill themselves because of their love. But Romeo and Juliet don't know at the very beginning. So we go through this entire story trying to get them to realize what's going to happen, and they never do. Dramatic irony.